Hello, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be my very first Flosstube video, and if you don't know what that is, I'm going to tell you in just a second. But for all of those who are here for Flosstube, welcome! I have been a stitcher for over 25 years, but I just became aware of Flosstube about a month ago. For all my subscribers, just a quick rundown on Flosstube. Basically, you guys are here, part of my channel, part of the nail polish community. Flosstube is the flossy, stitchy community. So I'm going to be sharing some projects today that have to do with cross stitch and crochet. Now, if you aren't into any stitchy kind of hobbies, a reason to stick around would be maybe you'll find something new that you like. So, like I said, I've been stitching for over 25 years. I had no idea that Flosstube existed. If Flosstube had been around 8 years ago when I started my channel, this might have been a completely different ride for me. I probably would have started a flossy channel rather than a nail polish channel, because before I fell in love with nail polish truly and deeply, more than just like, you know, wearing it on your nails, I stitched a lot. During all of my postpartum, everything going on with all 4 of my kiddos, I stitched back in college. I started stitching when I was 12 years old. Stitching has been a part of my life for a really long time. And over this last month, getting to know some members of the Flosstube community through their YouTube videos, and I also joined the Cross Stitch Unlimited Facebook group, which is such a treat to be a part of because you get to see people's ongoing and finished projects that they're working on. I never knew that there was a place for people like me who loved to cross stitch. So if you're like me, this video will probably be for you. If you don't like stitchy things, I think this video is also for you because you might find something else you really like here. If you're totally new to my channel because you're just popping in because of Flosstube, welcome. Stick around. I hope you enjoy this video, but also I hope you subscribe to the channel because usually we're talking about nail polish things around here. I review lots of mainstream nail polish collections so that you know whether or not you want to buy them. You can get to see like my live interaction with it, so it gives you a little bit more information before you purchase anything. Plus, I own my own nail polish company. It's an indie nail polish brand, so similar to like designers that you purchase from at their Etsy shops and different places like that. I create my own nail polish. This is one such nail polish that I'm wearing today. This is actually the event exclusive for the nail polish convention I'm going to. I know a lot of you stitchers like to go to stitchy conventions. We have a nail polish convention coming up on April 1st and 2nd in Vegas. If you live in Vegas and want to stop by and see the world of indie nail polish, it would be a fantastic introduction for you. There are like over 30 makers that are going to be there, so I super duper recommend. If you look to like a video or two before this, it's a giveaway for that event and like a whole description of what's going on there. So if you only ever thought that nail polish was like something you pick up in the store that was like a basic cream, think again, because indie nail polish is rad. You could put so much cool stuff in indie polish and literally look like you're wearing like a work of art on your nails by just painting on your nail polish. So that finishes the introduction to kind of bring my two worlds together, nail polish and stitchiness. So I've been watching quite a bit of Flosstube recently, a lot mostly of my favorite channel that I found. I've been binging them since the beginning of their Flosstube career. If you don't know, Flosstube, from what I can tell, started about 5 years ago. 4 to 5 years ago were the first videos that I have found, but I've been in the nail polish game for 8 years and my brand just had its 5th year anniversary. So I'm going to share some things with you. So in most Flosstube videos, people talk about their WIPS. I'm going to be using some jargon from the Flosstube community. WIP, W-I-P, stands for work in progress. So whenever you hear me talk about that, that's what I mean. I have yet to see a Flosstube video that like explains these things, and I had to learn as I was going. So WIP is work in progress. LNS means local needle workshop. I don't think I've had anybody say what the N exactly is for, but I'm guessing needlework, needle shop. I don't think it's needle shop, so we're gonna go with needlework. I don't have an LNS right now. I mean, the closest one to me is in Salt Lake, and that's pretty far. So there's a word that people use for their finished projects. I think they say FFP. I don't have any finished projects because a lot of the things I'm going to be showing you today are new starts. So we'll get there when I get there. So I'm going to start with my WIPs. I am going to, I guess I could have brought up like an old finished project, except it's not finished because I have not framed anything. I'm this ridiculous stitcher, which you may be like me, so we're not ridiculous. We're just a certain brand of stitcher. I literally have not framed a single thing. If that's you, but I have them in a box waiting to be framed. Okay, so just a heads up, anything I'm going to show you today is not pressed because I like reject all irons. They're one of the things that I rejected in my teenage years, along with pantyhose, that I was like, no. So I'm that millennial. If you're wondering, I'm on the tail end of being a millennial. I don't know what the next generation to me is, but I'm 38. Hi, I'm a 38-year-old stitcher. I live in Utah. I live out in the country area of Utah, and I love it here. It's gorgeous. I have 4 kids, by the way. They range from 17 to 6. I have 1 kiddo on the autism spectrum, 2 boys, 2 girls, and I really like nail polish. The other things I really like are music, my family obviously, and stitching. Okay, so this is my probably closest to finished project that I have. I've been working on this bad boy forever. I'm gonna input a, I'll have some pictures for you inputted of the works, like where you, I don't know if you can go buy this. This is a Dimensions Gold. I've done a lot of those in the years past. I just have always enjoyed that they already come like kitted up. Before I was a Flosstuber, before I knew about Flosstube, I wasn't like super aware about stitching shops online where you can get stuff other than like Michael's and Joann's and Hobby Lobby. So anyway, this is the closest thing to being done. As you can see, I have a good amount over here that still needs being done. And you can also notice from this work that I am the kind of stitcher who picks a color and I stitch on that color until it runs out, and then I do another color and I stitch on that. Hopefully I'll be done with before the end of 2022 because I've been working on it for actual ever. This is a pattern that I created myself using some stitchy software. I can't see the top of my thing, I'm gonna peek out like a Gollum creature constantly. Okay, so this is something that I created myself based off of a picture. And I just started stitching it. So I used cross stitch software, and I don't think that's, I had any like back stitching in my programming. So I might have to go in and reconfigure this. So this doesn't probably mean anything to you because I can't tell you what this is right now. But this is another older project that I've been working on that I kind of put down because I started working on some other things. So about halfway through the year last year, I sewed my friend a number of Star Wars stitchy things using that same software, and it worked out really well. Okay, I'm kind of going in order of like when I started something. So this is actually a relatively new start, but not as new as any of the other cross stitch things I'm going to show you. Because like I said, I've been busy watching Flosstube, getting inspired. So I've been making this throw. Wow, I'm a little tangled. I crocheted a piece like this for my friend, and it was a shawl. And I really loved this pattern. It has these like waves on it, and I really loved it. And so I decided, and it was such soft yarn, so I decided I wanted to make a throw. So you can see how far I've gotten, and then it's going to be twice as long, like here to here, twice as long as that is how long it is. So I love yellow and purple and periwinkle. They are just my faves. So it's a really simple stitch once you get going, and you just don't ever change. So it's a really easy like crochet or stitch to do while you're like watching a show with your husband, which is usually when I'm stitching on this. So here is the yarn, and I will input down below. I'm going to link where I got the pattern from. I'm also going to link or list what the name of the yarn is, although I just have to let you know it was one of those U yarns that you saw in Michael's, like this, and of course it also had the yellows on it, but it was in the it was like a big clearance area, so I picked up like 10 of them at the same time, and then I'm just gonna stitch however big I can stitch with the 10 things of it. So I don't think you're gonna be able to find this exact one, but I really love this pattern if you're looking for a new Afghan pattern. Okay, so one thing that I did in the last month that I've been learning about Flosstube and all these places that people shop for their different patterns and stuff is the app that I downloaded on my phone where I can buy magazines and just have it on my phone. I don't really like to, like when I'm reading a book, I'm listening to audiobook. When, like, I just don't like to have a lot of stuff. I already hoard nail polish. Like, I just don't usually like to have like a lot of stuff around me. So a digital magazine works a lot better for me than an actual magazine. So the app is called Pocketmags, and I have subscribed to Cross Stitcher and just Cross Stitch. And out of the two, I prefer Cross Stitcher. That's the one that I subscribe to first. One of the Flossie channels that I like, which I'm going to talk about my favorite channels coming up in a little bit, she recommended this subscription, and I went over and looked at it, and I was like, a magazine of 25 beautiful products, all for like $6? That's amazing. And then I subscribed to the year's worth of issues for only like $20. So I've been really, really loving it. And so a lot of my designs I'm going to share with you, my new starts, are going to come from these magazines. The first one I fell in love with was a stitch of succulents. And I'm going to put up on the screen right now what the finish looks like. And so this was the first project that I started once I fell down the Flosstube rabbit hole. It's gonna be those lovely blues, periwinkles, some peach, and then lots of greens. So I love succulents. I have like a whole theme of it in my master bathroom and in my kitchen. So I knew that I needed to stitch this and hang it in my kitchen. But it might get moved to the bathroom if I find something else I want to put in my kitchen. The next project that I found in those magazines was this beautiful piece I'm going to put up on the screen now. It's a sampler, and it looks like that gorgeous china that I love, and I don't purchase for my house because my kids will just smash it and it will die. So my kids aren't old enough yet basically for it. So this is my start. I'm going to show it to you in my ring, because I want to talk to you about these. So I did not know that these existed till I got on Flosstube, and I'm assuming if a lot of you are like me, you probably don't know about all these newfangled things if you've just been stitching privately in your own home for years and years and years. So basically on both sides of these is a magnet, and you no longer have to like roll your work up and go like this while you're stitching. This is literally me for the last 25 years. I actually started embroidery. I had purchased this from Amazon quite a while ago, and then when I got into Flosstube, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to finally start that embroidery project. What are you? Piece of random sticky thing. So this is the project that I got off of Amazon. I just wanted something to simply like learn and practice stitches on. My grandma taught me to crochet and cross stitch many, many, many years ago, and she also probably showed me a little bit of embroidery, but I never really got into it. I enjoyed cross stitch much more. So this is how far I am on this, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I don't like it as much as cross stitch, but this is a stitchy thing, so I wanted to show you. I am planning to work more on this, so that is one of my current WIPs. Okay, I only have like 2 or 3 more. So this is the next thing I want to talk to you about. So those of you who are super familiar with all this stuff I'm explaining to the gals who are new to Flosstube and these new conventions like me, I just want to quickly explain, because I didn't have any of this stuff explained to me as I was venturing down Flosstube rabbit hole. So this is called a Qsnap. It's a device that you would use instead of a ring, and I can't say that I'm enjoying it more. I cannot say that I am. I picked it up to try it, and because for a project like this it would be really helpful, because I'm going to be like working, like I'm thinking of this like a 3D printer. Salem loves to use 3D printers. I'm going to talk to you about this new style of stitching that I'm trying, where you have all the threads out here in the front. So I'm not liking the Qsnap that much because it is really inconvenient for my stitchy style. So my stitchy style is go in the right hand, pull out on the back, go in, and everything is done with my right hand. I've seen people stitch where they use both hands. I'm not that ambidextrous, and so I do both. And so for me, going all the way around this big Qsnap is not handy. I know that they had a smaller size, but this is the one that I got because I got a big full coverage dimensions gold to try this new stitchy method. So that is my review of the Qsnap. I also, as you can see, have these two little things on here. So now I want to talk to you about this new stitching that I'm trying. So this is the parking method, and I'm going to link a YouTube channel where I went and watched a demo of the parking method so I could learn about it. But I kept seeing people in the Facebook group that I mentioned, which is also linked down below, doing their cross stitch like this, like having it filled in across and like having these right angles. And I was like, what is this? Because I learned cross stitch from my grandmother when I was 12, and then it's been a solitary hobby. It's not something that I share with other people or really learned from other people how different ways of doing things. This is my start on that, and I will be doing this whole project in this form. The rest of my stitching, I don't think I'm gonna do this way. This is my only full coverage project that I have to share with you, with the exception of the very first one that I started, and that one's not parking. So I'm just gonna keep it that way. Okay, my next WIP looks like this. And when I get further done with this, I'm not gonna be sharing it on here as much because it is a gift. And so I don't want to give it away in case this person watches this video or these flossy videos. But I'm really excited about this. And the other thing I want to talk to you about this was I learned from one of the flossy videos that I watched about a way that members of the community can donate quickly and easily to Ukrainian stitchers right now, and that is simply going to their Etsy shop and purchasing their designs. So I'm going to link in the description bar below a place where I went to purchase. The place that I got this pattern from, I bought like 15 patterns. It's for PDF digital download, so it's like they don't have to do like too much on their end, and you can just send them funds, and so it's a great way to get some money to Ukrainian women right now. So definitely check out that link. They're all like really budget friendly priced. Most PDF patterns that you're going to find like on Etsy shops and different places, and these specific places I'm sending you to, sometimes you can get the printed download, but a lot of times it's just PDF. So I just keep it on my phone and I can just look at it really easily, or you can put it on your iPad and make it nice and big. I really like that. It's great for my eyes because I can just and make that part of the pattern really big. So I like that a lot. I was supposed to be paying attention in church one Sunday, but instead I was buying a lot of patterns at Etsy shops. I purchased a bunch at this one and a couple at the second link that you're going to find down below. Okay, so another term that you will find in the stitchy community is the term SAL. That's S-A-L. It stands for Stitch Along. So I started a SAL in the Cross Stitcher magazine. It starts in March's edition, and there's just so many cute patterns in here, you guys. It's so awesome. I love it. That is like one of my favorite recommendations for you for this video, is to subscribe to those magazines. And then if you find something you really like that has like a part 2, you just can purchase the previous magazine for like $5, and then you have part 1. So that's what I did. I had purchased April, and then I saw that they had started this stitch along, so I went back to March to get the beginning of it. So it starts in March with just a border, and then they're going to be, it's like a dream destinations around the world in 365 days. So they give you, a little tease with these cute characters, and then you get to stitch the border. So that's what I did so far. And then for each pattern, they give you like, you know, your floss needs and how big your dimensions are going to be and all that kinds of stuff. So it's so great. These magazines are really, really easy to use and awesome. Almost completely done with the border, and then I decided that I wanted to start in on the first character. So no, that was a lie. I got almost done with 1/4 of the border. So this one I've been doing freehand. Is that what it's called? Freehand? Been freehanding it. Basically means I'm not using a ring or a Qsnap. And I actually really like this method too, because I can just really easily manipulate the fabric, and I can do like 2 at a time. It's especially nice for really long lines. You can go 2 at a time and then pull all the way through. So the first little person there, I don't want to tell you too much if you're going to stitch along, but so there's going to be like characters or destinations in like the different quadrants. And so I think there's going to be like 5 or 6. And then I stitched this on Malted Milk 14 count even weave. Stitch alongs are really fun because if you like a mystery, and if you are a member to my channel, I'm pretty sure you like a mystery. So you don't know the whole project at a time. Some people really don't like that. I think it's pretty fun. In fact, I started a second one, and actually I started a third one, but you don't get the first piece until the 25th, which might be the day this is going up. I don't know. I don't know what day I'm going to have be my Flosstube day. So this is a design that I found at the Frosted Pumpkin. This is the Little Red Riding Stitch Along, and this is how far I've gotten. So not very far, because like I said, I had startitis, and as you can see, it's on this really beautiful chocolatey fabric. Again, I didn't even know that people were stitching on stuff like this because I've been living in my little stitchy hole in the ground. So the kit already comes all kitted up for you. I went ahead and there's 1 or 2 threads from Classic Colorworks. Other than that, it was all DMC, I believe. And I went ahead and put them on floss drops. If you don't know what floss drops are, I'm going to give you a really quick little rundown on that. Basically, I have been keeping my thread bobbinated forever since I started stitching. And what that means is that's those little, oh, I have some in front of me I can show you because I was finishing moving them over. Here's like some for a kit that what it means to kit it up is it means to like go to you could buy stuff online, but also you could go to your local Hobby Lobby or whatever, get all the threads that are required, get the fabric that's required, and just like get the project ready to go for when you want to start it. So here's like a really old bobbin. Since then I have had plastic ones, but it's just wrapping it on here, and then what I would previously do is unwrap a bunch of it, get it to the length that I want, cut off the amount of threads that I want, and it's not like the worst method, it's just not as easy as using floss drops. So I'm gonna link down below, it'll say like floss drops. I'm gonna put the channel of one of my one of the gals that I've been watching on Flosstube. I really have been enjoying her videos, so I'm happy to recommend her to you. And she explains how to do floss drops. She sells, I believe, like her version of what I've made on her Etsy shop. A lot of these channels, these Flosstube channels, have their own Etsy shops where you can go and buy their products and other people's products. But it's much more cost effective to just make your own. So basically I just took playing cards. I have a bigger size hole punch 2 holes in the in each side, and then if you watch her video, she shows you how to get it off of one of these guys and put it easily onto one of these. And then what you do is you would just take, let me get like not a dark color that's not going to show up, maybe. You would take your floss drop, and then you would just take a needle and separate one little thread from all of these. Most things, unless you're doing like a Dimensions Gold, are going to need you to use 2 threads, the projects that I'm working on. So you would separate one, and then you pull it up, and it just really easily pulls all the way out from here. She demos it in the video I'm going to send you to. And then you would just fold it in half and start stitching with it, and it's 2 stitches long, or 2 threads long, and it's really, really easy. This does take a little bit of time putting these all on here, but then once you have your DMC collection all put onto floss drops, it's really easy. This one was for the travel destination Sal. I've got all my floss drops on here like this. First of all, isn't that beautiful to look at? But yeah, they're just all like that. They're so easy. And then when you're done with this project, you would just go home these in their order. See, they all have the numbers on them, wherever you're gonna home your floss. Anyway, back to the Little Red Riding Hood from Frosted Pumpkin. I also signed up for their Under the Sea one, which starts on February 25th. No, March 25th, so if you want to join that one. The kits were sold out, so I'm going to have to get my own fabric and all my own floss and stuff, but that's okay. I don't think my haul should be super massive today because most of my haul, the stuff I hauled in the last month, I just showed you in my WIPS and my fresh starts. So these things are just items that I found while watching other people's Flosstube, and they were stitching it, and I was like, oh, I want to stitch that. So I would just go and search it and pick up a pattern for it. So this is from Madame Chantilly, and it's called Winter. This one I saw quite a few Flosstubers stitching, and so or they had hauled it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this looks cute. And it's a series, so this is number 1. It's the fox, and there is the information if you want to go look it up. And so there's going to be a bunch of other forest animals. Okay, so a lot of people talk about the primitive hare on Flosstube. I have learned, so some of this hauling stuff is just like me wanting to try these other like famous within Flosstube cross stitch designers. I don't think it's my aesthetic, but I really want to stitch this up. Look at what the top sign says. I purchased the bookshelf. Oh, I meant to start this. So the 2022 temperature bookshelf, I'm going to put a picture of it up here. Basically, it's like a way to engage with the year as you go along and colorfully mark on your bookshelf. So if you like books, this is also going to be fun for you. But to mark on your bookshelves the temperature as recorded by the different colors you're using. So I think that's really fun, and it's like a thing that you can pull out and work on all the time. Next, I want to talk about 2 stitchy Facebook groups that you can join, which I have been finding really enjoyable. There's the Cross Stitch Unlimited Facebook group, and basically people just go there to ask questions about cross stitch, share their works and projects, share their finished projects, so that's really, really fun. And then the other one is called WIPGO 2022. So WIPGO is Work in Progress. And then I don't know what oh, it's like bingo. Duh. So I'm going to just show an example of somebody's WIPGO. So you can, I'm just pulling up the first one that was on the group. So I'm just going to show it really quick so you can see that it's like a bingo chart. So basically, January, February, and March has already happened. I only joined Flosstube at the end, like at the beginning of March. So I'm pretty new to this. So I'm just going to start in April, but they pick 2 numbers for April, and you look and see where it fell on your chart. Like you pick 15 projects and you plot them on your WIPGO board. If you don't have 15 products, then you pick, 8 projects and you put them on there twice. So, and then when it's rolled, those are the 2 projects that you're going to focus on this month, and you're going to try to get more work done on them than like your other things, for example. So it's a way of getting your WIPs done that have just maybe been sitting there for a really long time, like that Northern Lights one. So that's a really cool website. I have yet to partake, but I'm going to get ready for it, so I'm ready for April. Now, lastly, I'm going to talk about a number of Flosstube channels that I've been enjoying. So my favorite Flosstube channel is Pam and Stephanie Just Keep Stitching. I have been binging them since the first episode because they're just a little bit more laid back, chill, laugh about silly things type of peeps. They're kind of my peeps, so I've been really enjoying them. Their videos are very long, just to give you a heads up. You guys are used to on my channel, I give you like really quick little videos so you get the information and you go. Flosstube videos are more about, let me put on something to keep me company for the next hour while I'm working on something. That's what Flosstube videos are like. There's a channel called Mischievous Stitches. That is hard to say, actually. I've been enjoying her as well. She doesn't have as many videos for me to watch right now, so I haven't watched as much from her, but I think that she is really fun. And she also does like more stuff besides just cross stitching. Like I showed you crochet and cross stitch, oh, and a little bit of embroidery, but she does a lot more different kinds of crafty things. The other cross stitcher that I really, really love, because I just really respond to her energy, her name is Evelyn_A_X_the_pond. So it's like Evelyn across the pond. There's a lot of underscores in there. So I'll link it down below so you can go follow. It looks like she took like a long break from cross stitch, and I've only watched her recent stuff, so I've only watched a few videos. She's also a person who can talk for a really long time. So if you like that sort of thing, like just a really calming, fun presence while you're doing something, she's a great Flosstuber for you. So I've been really enjoying her. And she has a very similar aesthetic to what I like. So a lot of the stuff that she does, I find myself being like, oh, I want to stitch that. Another Flosstuber I've been enjoying is, her name is Curly Girl Crafter, and she's the person that I learned how to make my floss drops from. She's also the person that I learned about the Ukrainian Etsy shops from, so I really like her. I find her to be like a little bit more informative than the rest of the Flosstube channels that I've tried. And so I really recommend her to you as well. She does also a little like more different stuff, not just cross stitching, I think, as well, if you like that. So I'll link her channel down below as well. And I think that's all for now. I know I've tried more channels than that, but I didn't quite like get right into it. So like I said, you're going to find so much stuff linked below. I want to give you a wealth of information, so in case you are thinking about how much fun it would be to get back into one of your favorite hobbies, like me, hopefully you have a lot of good info down there. So that was my Flosstube #1. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you stuck around for that whole thing, especially since videos on my channel are usually a very small time commitment, I am majorly impressed. So I'll see you back for another video very soon. Hopefully you're coming on Saturday to our Swatchfest mix along. If you are a flossy person, not a nail polish person, but this video made you think more about nail polish, come make polish with me on Saturday. Every Saturday we do a live video that usually has giveaways. And on the 4th Saturday of every month, we mix polish together, handmade polish together, and you get to help me make it and design it and name it and all that fun stuff. So come to my channel, noon Pacific Standard Time this Saturday, March 26th. Okay, that's gonna be it. Take care. Bye.